Architecture is a forever evolving industry with different styles and technologies of construction. For a long time, architecture has been perceived to be limited to buildings as a fixed object in space, not acknowledging that architecture goes as far as the nomadic period where it was temporary, flexible, and communal.
Hi, my name is Mpinane Kobela. I'm an architectural student at the Tshwane University of Technology. I'm doing my 6th year. The intention of this video is to try to further explain my research topic, which is about documenting and translating the Basotho weaving techniques into contemporary architecture. So this video will be a demonstration of what I've already researched on.
The Basotho people use different types of grass to weave different elements. Grasses like okwa, litsiri, musea, lodi, letepu, titapoho, and mohlomo.
The translation happens in two ways in my research. It's through materiality, the exploration of materiality and performance. With the materiality, we're actually looking at traditional materials, and they are being replaced with contemporary materials. So I had to do models from both traditional and contemporary materials, and to actually test the workability of both materials, maybe even to compare. And then, since those were small-scale models, now when we think architecture, you're thinking big scale. So that's when the concept of scale actually inspired the idea of performance. Imagine architecture as a sequential movement, as a performance, as an event in space, whereby it's a labor-intensive project and you have these participants who are actually moving in space with materials to a rhythm. Pay attention to that, because for a movement to be consistent and harmonious, there will have to be rhythm in it. So I'm exploring performance in movement, also incorporating rhythm. Architects like Dorita Hanna and Bernard Tschumi have argued that architecture is not passive and does not order space.
If we are to consider space, the human subject, and construction processes as active domains, the idea challenges the traditional perspective of architecture as rigid.
We did some performances at the TT campus, the main campus, where we're trying to demonstrate how weaving can be done in space and also to a rhythm. We did our performance illustrating the 3-string weaving and the crossed figure 8 weaving techniques they're engaged in, whether it's plowing, whether it's harvesting, whether it's building, plastering, the men and women of the community would engage in harmonious rhythm while doing such activities. So also, we're trying to bring back the culture of rhythm into construction and the making of architecture.
Translating game sequences into construction sequences. It is important to realize that games are not only meant to entertain children, but are also meant to equip them with skills that could benefit them in adulthood. Some of the skills that games provide are the ability to maintain a sense of rhythm, exactness in movement and harmony, concentration, movement alignment, and coordination of more than one activity. These are the very same skills that are needed for a performance-oriented architecture and construction. These skills can be applied in construction, where site works are conducted as sequential events by the laborers. This form of direct engagement with movement is another way of learning a skill by doing, through repetition as it is done in games.
In conclusion, architecture is a forever evolving industry with different styles and technologies of construction. For a long time, architecture has been perceived to be limited to buildings as a fixed object in space, not acknowledging that architecture goes as far as the nomadic period, where it was temporary, flexible, and communal. The study has demonstrated how rhythm, sequential movement can be interwoven to organize construction sites. However, the intention of this study is not to restrict this technique to weaving, but to suggest that other methods and techniques of construction can be done in a sequential performance and rhythm. Based on these results, this research recommends a paradigm shift on how and what architecture should be. This study proposes this performance-oriented way of making architecture to be observed and taken into consideration for future approach in contemporary architecture.
Tie the rope around the tree, pull and turn in a figure of 8. Tie the rope around the tree, pull and turn in a figure of 8. Tie the rope around the tree, pull and turn in a figure of 8. Tie the rope around the tree, pull and turn in a figure of 8. Tie the rope around the tree, pull and turn in a figure of 8. Tie the rope around the tree, pull and turn in a figure of 8. Tie the rope around the tree, pull and turn in a figure of 8. Tie the rope around the tree, pull and turn in a figure of 8.